skip it. See it or skip it. See it or skip it.
Welcome to a new See It or Skip It. We're going to be talking about Fight or Flight. We're talking about Poker Face Season 2. A lot is on streaming. Maybe not a ton that everybody has heard of, but we're excited to be here to talk about it. Of course, I'm joined by one of my co-hosts, Richard Bonaduce. How's it going?
Hello.
And of course, Rebecca Frost.
Hey.
And joining us again is Tracy Mangum. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Oh, very good. Quick, we need to do a little recap on some things that you've not been able to tell the audience. So how do you feel about a rapid fire See It or Skip It?
Let's do it.
Sinners.
Sinners, see it.
Okay. Andor.
See it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay.
Especially 7, 8, and 9.
Thunderbolts.
See it.
Thunderbolts. See it. Okay.
Very much. Yes.
Very cool. Anyone
This
want
felt like
to try
a
another
gimme
one?
round.
Did we do Death of a Unicorn?
Death of a Unicorn. We talked about that on the show.
Oh,
It was
somebody give me another one.
Skip it. There hasn't been much.
There's no other
I guess
movies.
there's-
They're right here.
We'll find out the rest
They're
here.
coming up.
Oh, boy. We're so glad that you were able to join us. And let's get started now with Fight or Flight. This is starring Josh Hartnett. The Hartnett is happening. And we are all on board on this flight.
He never left. The man's been working consistently for 20 years.
He wasn't Oppenheimer, but I have to say, me and my wife were watching this, and she could not recognize him from anything in Oppenheimer.
Because his hair
kind
was
of is a
blonde?
chameleon. He just transforms into a different person,
he
different
really
role.
will change.
What
He'll
is
get
this
big, he'll get
trap
smaller,
erasure? Why
whatever.
aren't you guys talking about trap?
Oh, well, I don't know if we should talk about
I was
trap.
going to say.
The quick response is skip it for that one.
Lightning round. See it or skip it.
See it.
Oh, man.
See it or skip it. Skip it.
There we go. I already said it.
Didn't
Skip
say it.
You guys are the
Well,
worst.
Fight or Flight. Let's break it down by the way of comparison.
Eight
Fight or
movies.
Flight is basically Bullet Train meets John Wick.
Bullet train on a plane.
Bullet Train on a
Bullet
plane.
plane. Ooh, that's a
It-
good
yeah.
You should be marketing.
Yep. If you're looking for ultra violence, if you're looking for some really fun fight sequences in claustrophobic areas, using their resources, maybe not having a gun because you're on a plane and having to use a seatbelt or something to take somebody out, he's trying to protect an asset that is on the plane, and it's like a 16-hour flight to get from, where is he starting at? I know he's going to Los Angeles.
Thailand.
I believe,
From Thailand to Los Angeles. I thought it was a really fun movie. The third act goes a little bit too far into the Scott Pilgrim versus the World universe that I don't think really was built from the beginning of the movie, but it was something that I probably would recommend. But Tracy, tell us what you think about this.
I like the concept of it. I'm all for stupid, silly movies, especially planes. Snakes on a plane, Sharknado, they have several plane issues. I'm all for big, silly, fun movies. I didn't like the fight choreography.
What?
In this movie. I felt like it was, well, because they would like speed up the frame rate
They would,
during
yeah.
the fighting, and that takes me out of it. Like, I'm like,
Did you like the Kingsman Secret Service fighting? To me, it felt a little bit like that.
kind of, yeah.
Where
Yeah.
There's a
So
lot of
it's
like
just
hyper
like
stuff.
you're in regular mode, and then all of a sudden you're just moving super fast. And I'm like, I like to see the fight develop and flow, and they cut a lot, and sometimes even jump cuts where I'm like, just let the scene play out. So that was my
I can get on board with
big
that.
problem with that. But and then the CGI blood, especially in the third act, got a little much.
What do you want for $30 million?
I feel the way about that, the way I felt about the gore in Renfield. Like Renfield, ton of gore.
Yes.
You didn't see it physically on the set afterwards. It was very clean. So I feel the same way about Fight or Flight in regards to that. Also, Josh Hartnett doesn't look like he smells bad enough.
That's true.
Interesting.
That's a good point.
Yeah. His type of character looks like he should smell worse, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
just doesn't look like he smells bad.
The only thing I could think of while I was watching this is like,
I'm
that plane's
so
got to stink. Like there's so many. At the end, when the bodies start piling up, it's like there's got to be the nastiest plane that someone.
Yeah. I mean, the plane's got good circulation, but only for a point.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I agree with the fighting. It can be a little bit choppy. To me, the one of my biggest pet peeves about these kind of things, these claustrophobic things, where it's a big crowd. The crowd doesn't react the way that you would expect them to. Like if a big fight sequence is happening and they're all sitting in their seats still, or like it's just happening an aisle away, but everybody's still in their seats.
I mean,
not
let's be real, that's
panicking.
just flying in 2025.
You know,
We're
there
so
was
used
one
to the-
scene.
Yeah, it's just like that
There's
now.
a scene where
Like,
someone is just recording.
Yeah.
Like in the background, somebody just
And
recording
that
chaos.
I could actually see. Yeah.
Well, I think that was part of the absurd tone it took. I mean, it starts with a sequence that kind of lets you know what this thing is going to be about. And if you're on board with that, I'm on board with people going, while you're getting beat up right next to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really liked it, although I did like the fight choreography, and I did notice they speeded it up, but I thought it was really inventive.
It's a creative choice. It's just one that didn't work for me personally.
Yeah.
And I felt like it took a little bit to get into the story. We're like a half hour before we are on the plane and the actual plot starts happening. So that was kind of my drawback, but
Well,
It
that's
does
the
start
thing
kind
with
of
the plot.
slow.
yeah.
Because it's Katie Sackhoff. She's basically the leader of the, I don't know if it's like the CIA or the
It's
FBI.
not government. It is not government.
No,
Yeah, it's
they
some
pull
very
back one
Specifically,
Yes.
it is very specifically not
Yeah,
government.
we won't give it away.
She has
they
the
show
mouth
building.
of an angry football coach. Like the things that she says are just shocking to me.
She's very angular.
Very angular. I think that whole plot completely fell apart for me. And I don't even think they necessarily cared about how
it
he got
wasn't
on the
necessary.
plane, just to get him on the plane to let the chaos happen.
They were like setting up this whole complicated backstory that we didn't really need. Get on the plane. Let's start the action.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if you're going into the theater and you want to have some fun with friends, is this a see it or is it a skip it?
See it. I love a silly action movie. So for me personally, loved it. See it.
Tracy?
I would say if you're going with a group of friends, especially on opening night when the theater's going to be fairly full, see it. I think seeing it by myself took some of that fun out of it.
Richard?
I'm definitely see it. And again, if you like that opening scene, you'll like that movie because that's what it is. It's
Very much.
coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that gives it a full 4 see-its from us. But I don't know, there's one more action film that's out in theaters right now. I don't know much about it, and I don't want to force you to tell me anything, but...
Patrick.
He's going to
I
shadow
always
force
do.
me. You're going to shadow force
play.
me. Yes.
Let's talk about this. Kerry Washington is starring.
Yep, Omar Sy, and this is one of those ones that it's good that we talk about it with Fight or Flight, actually, because it tries to have a tone that's kind of quippy as well, but it's also really serious, and the bad guy delivers his lines with dead seriousness, and et cetera, and it doesn't have that balance, I think, that Fight or Flight had. Like, they stayed funny and odd and absurd throughout. Even the Scott Pilgrim stuff, kind of takes it, to the next level. But Shadow Force, I feel like it's trying to do 2 things at least at once. It doesn't do either one of them really well.
I looked at the cast list a little bit, and Mark Strong is in it.
Yes.
Let me make one
He's the bad
educated
guy.
guess. Yeah, is he the bad guy?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of
He's
course.
How
evil,
did you figure that out?
evil Stanley Tucci. Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito. I made my plea about Giancarlo Esposito. We should stop making him the villain and give him
Absolutely.
whatever role he wants. I'm going to make the same plea in this case because anytime Mark Strong is in something, unless it's like a dramatic Oscar type of movie, he is the villain.
Oh yeah.
He was a good guy in Kingsman.
You know what?
Yeah,
That's
true.
fair. And we did just talk about Kingsman, so
Yeah, so
points
there's
to that.
one.
Good point.
Yeah. Until the next movie comes out.
Yeah.
And it turns out it was switched the whole
Yeah.
time.
9 out of 10 times.
So none of us have seen this movie.
haven't.
Do you think it's worth anybody seeing it?
I would skip this one.
Oh no.
I would. I mean, again, it's not a great action flick, and it's not like a great funny time at the movies for a gang of people to go with or something. It needs to pick what it needs to be, what it wants to be, and then go with that. I would skip it.
We like these mid-budget kind of action films, though, right? And these are the ones that we want more of in theaters.
Well, yeah. I mean, Fight or Flight was only $30 million. That's not a lot of money for what they did, and it shows with the blood here and there. But I don't know how much a Shadow Force was, but I don't think it was a problem with effects or anything like that. Just the writing is not that great. A lot of the dialogue is very typical of an action.
Zero marketing.
Yeah.
I haven't
I haven't seen a
I haven't seen a
thing.
thing about Shadow Force.
And it has one of those generic posters where you can just tell that
It's
no
a
one was-
Photoshop job.
Yeah.
I made it in Canva. Yeah.
Yep, you can make it in Canva. Well, that's a skip it from Richard on that. We
Yeah,
can't really
skip it.
say too much on it, but there's a chance we could be mulling over something else that's coming out.
Patrick.
Rebecca, what do you got for us?
Secretly, anyway.
Secret Mall Apartment is a documentary about this group of artists from 2003 who, upon the completion of this new mall in Providence, Rhode Island, find this dead space, this empty area within the mall, and decide to make it an apartment. And it is a documentary, but it is a lot of fun. And because they are a group of artists, they all have cameras and made an intentional choice to record everything. And what it has turned into 20 years later is a really fantastic documentary that Jesse Eisenberg saw and picked up immediately. And I thought I had a ton of fun. I thought it was really clever, but also not just, haha, we're living in an apartment in the mall, but also a story about gentrification in the area, humanitarian art projects throughout the country, and especially in, immediately after post 9/11, like 2003 and on, like the artwork that they do in response to that. It was really touching and moving, and I had a blast watching it.
Art and capitalism and commerce.
Yeah.
Tracy, you love documentaries, and you were able to see this too. Do you agree? Everything, you loved it?
Absolutely. This is a great documentary. It's a fascinating story that I had never heard of.
Yeah, me neither.
Never heard of this particular story.
4 years?
Lived
It's crazy.
in this, and it's so.
They didn't live there. Like
They spent a lot of
They spent a lot of
time
time
there.
there.
Yeah.
And there were some instances where they did stay there, but it is established that they do live elsewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, and so the idea was they wanted, at first they were like, can we do this? Can we go into this space? Like the guy looked at the blueprints and while they were building it was like, there's going to be a weird open space there.
Because the mall is weirdly constructed to
weird.
fit the area.
Yeah, because the freeway kind of curves.
And then there's a river that goes through it too, and so it is like 4 different shapes that overlap. And so he was able to deduce there should be this empty area that we could do something with.
Yeah, so they're like, let's go find that. And then when they did, they're like, we should take back this. They said the mall ruined our homes. We should move into the mall. So it was kind of a joke at first, and then it was, how much stuff can we get in there and not get caught?
Right.
And at one point they do get caught, and it's an interesting
And they
scene.
just so easily get out of it.
And he says, if I wasn't white and middle class and young, then I would have gotten in a lot of trouble. But
Very
instead,
interesting.
I'm hauling a couch through a part of the mall that's not supposed to be, and the police just let him go.
But also just like a
So,
really good story of like
is.
this man who's an artist, but art is his life and there's no separation. And you don't really see that like a whole lot about people who live art as their life. It was really fascinating.
He broke up with his girlfriend over it because she
Yeah.
could not understand, why are you doing this? And,
Why are you staying at
it's
a
like-
mall when you
it's-
could be home with me?
Kind of. And so
They
then it
were trying to
became-
build like their
They were
home.
trying to put they were trying to figure out how to do plumbing and everything. Like
Right.
It's crazy. They didn't get that far, but they got
pretty
they
close.
got pretty
So
close.
this is
yeah.
playing right now at the Broadway theaters, from what I understand, right?
Yes.
Yes.
If it's playing anywhere else, definitely go and check this out. Both of you are giving it a see it.
See it.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
Very cool. Very cool.
I'll say this: I knew the story. I didn't know there was a documentary about it.
Yeah.
I read about this years ago.
The main guy was the only one that was known.
He took the fall for
He
everybody
took the
else.
fall for everybody else when he got in trouble,
Yep.
when he got caught, and now they've all come forward to be part of this documentary and to talk about it.
They're like,
So-
fame?
Yeah. As you guys are talking, I'm nodding along like, yep, that happened, and I can't wait. I would say I'm gonna see it
It's
based on your
fascinating.
recommendation, especially because, again, I'd read about it and going, oh, cool, great, I want to check it out.
Well, something else that is happening this weekend is Mother's Day. A happy Mother's Day to everybody watching, and to your grandmothers, to your Nonnas. And speaking of Nonnas, we actually have something on Netflix
Nonnas.
that people can check
hang on
out.
a second. Hang on.
what
There
do we
you go.
have?
If we're going to do this, we got to do it right.
What
okay.
do you have?
Pass
We have
that down. Pass
props?
that down.
Oh.
You're going to
didn't know
have
we
to.
had props.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
my
know.
goodness.
Okay. There we
So
go.
All right.
Like the movie
I'm
itself.
sorry. I
Like
took one.
this.
There you go. All right. All right. Careful of your mics when you put this
What are we
gun.
doing? Now, we're not going to go into stereotypical accents on
No.
this, too. Just like the movie
Just gonna
wants us
talk like
to,
I do when I
goading
talk
us
at
into
home.
it. Now, this is Vince Vaughn produced and stars in. He's a son that recently lost his mother and decides that he wants to open up a restaurant and basically bring in grandmothers to bring home cooking. Seems like he's just forcing them into labor in a lot of ways.
They volunteered.
Yeah.
Kind of. A little
Yeah.
voluntold.
He guilt trips him.
He
She
does.
talks about the Catholic guilt. Did you just Catholic guilt me? He's like, well, I learned from the best.
Yeah, this movie is cartoonishly Italian. Can we
It
say
really
that?
is. If the
It
movie
is-
was a poster, it would be this.
The music from the get-go.
It's a good movie.
I was
The
like,
poster.
is this offensive?
Well, and it's interesting because Vince Vaughn plays, he basically is building a team, right? We've seen him do that with Dodgeball. But this team, I mean, we got a lot of people. We got Susan Sarandon, we've got Lauren Bracco, we got Tally Shire. It's a pretty stacked list of
Linda Cardellini.
really well,
Yeah, I'll see any
actors.
movie with
It
Linda
is.
Cardellini.
It is based on a true story. Which I thought was very interesting.
Right. Well, and you've actually got some information about the actual restaurant.
Yeah,
right?
the restaurant Enoteca Maria, still alive and well in Staten Island.
15 years, I think.
I don't have an exact
that's
timeline,
what
but
they said,
they
yeah.
have expanded it, so it's not just Italian nonnas. So like every week they rotate like different ethnic like backgrounds. So one week you'll have a Pakistani grandmother making the food. One week you'll have an Indian mother making the food.
Greek, yeah.
Greek, Jewish, like they're all kinds of. It's nonnas of the world is what the T-shirts say.
Oh, that's cool.
In fact,
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn's character is actually dating one of the chefs in real life who does the Japanese cuisine.
Oh, cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, because originally it was known as from all over Italy, so you could get a taste of different parts of Italy. But I love the idea of having grandmothers from around the world cooking you
Yeah,
dinner.
And that's what it
and you
became.
have
That's
they're a
fascinating.
cash-only establishment. You do have to make a reservation.
Yep, on the phone.
It just
You
keeps
have to
getting
make it
more
on
and
the
more
phone.
Italian.
They do nothing online and no apps and all that stuff. So yeah,
You walk in and they go, "How you doing?"
what's wrong with that?
All right.
Bonaduce, dude.
Well, your Nonna's cooking then.
Yeah.
Is this true to form?
You know what? I know it's very stereotypical, but I'm watching going, oh, well, okay, yeah, that's my childhood. Oh, yep. Oh, yep, that too. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's very PG version, obviously.
And that's the thing. It is rated PG.
It is PG.
This is why it's a Mother's Day movie
which
to
is
me.
which is why it's totally unrealistic.
I was having that thought. I was like, this is a very tame,
Very tame.
movie.
I'm also a little curious with a Netflix film now, or really any Netflix thing. Are they writing it so that you can be distracted and do other things? Like they've kind of sold themselves lately on some of our content. We're streamlining it so that you can go do whatever else you want. You can just hear it in the background and you can still relate to it. Some of the dialogue felt that way, where it was a lot of exposition heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not like you could see the movie either because the lighting throughout was so
It is dim.
bad.
It is oddly dim.
Very
yeah.
dim.
Yeah.
Yep, the Netflix just view, in my opinion, is its own thing, and I'm not sure I like it too much.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching Ozark.
Feels a little more fake. Yep.
That would be blue and dim.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, you can see Ozark?
I have to turn my brightness settings like way up.
Oh man. So Tracy, what do you think about Nonna's? Is this going to be a see it?
If you want something nice and easy for Mother's Day, I'd say see it. It's a little slow for me, but I liked it. I like Vince Vaughn. I like all the actresses, Lauren Bracco and everybody involved with it. I thought Joe Manganiello was really good. They had good chemistry all together. So I'd say see it, but it's not one that I'm like rush out and see it immediately type of thing.
I agree. I think this is a see it.
It kind of fills your soul like a good Italian dish, or
Exactly.
Like you eat it and you're like, yeah, that was really
Hey.
good.
And if you're celebrating your
Goes
mother and your
down easy.
grandmothers, why not watch something everybody can enjoy, not feel uncomfortable watching it? Like maybe some of the movies that we have on our list. But still, Rebecca, would you see it?
Yeah. It's not my typical fare, but like I have eyes and ears and a heart, so I'm not immune from being moved
Right.
by this particular type of story. So I was, crying a little bit at the end, but it's not my typical watch. I'm not going to tell you to skip it, but I'm not going to tell you to go out and
Yeah.
see it.
You may
Yeah.
forget about it after the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard, what about you?
Hey, I didn't
God.
expect to like it, actually. I saw PG and I went, okay, I know from the trailer what's going to happen. And you do. Like
Right.
everything is in this, the drama is resolved within a scene or two, right? But like Rebecca said, it is very nice. It's cute. It does go down easy. And there were some pretty touching moments to it because, again, true story that they, dramatized for sure. But there is some true to life drama happening in there, especially by the end when it's all wrapped up with a bow. And it's a nice bow. It's feel good.
is, yeah.
Let it happen. Come on.
Well, make sure you guys go and check this out. I'm going to take these off
'Kay.
so that I don't.
Thanks for the
mess
props,
with the
Yeah,
Rich.
that was great.
What a fun
I can't
prop
believe you
day.
just have all these hats
Oh,
and scarves.
speaking of-
Oh,
I'm
this
not
is only like a sampling.
There are so many other things going on with streaming, but really quick, I want to touch on Poker Face Season 2. Natasha Lyonne, this is written by Ryan Johnson. If you love Knives Out, if you love any of those Netflix whodunits that he's written, this is right up anyone's alley. That
No
would be
pun
interested
to
in it.
lead into it? No, let's
No.
face the next.
I had to
Is it a
talk and put
killer
away.
series?
Oh, I
Are
don't
we going
know.
to run away? Oh, okay. Anyway.
I'll just say,
rubbing off on me. I'm
you may be defying gravity in the first episode because it's all
We're
going
not
to
even
be.
talking about the same.
Thing
No,
anymore.
because-
No, we're not.
Wait,
It is.
Did we
Oh,
swap?
Cynthia
No, he's
Erivo's
okay.
there.
He's okay.
Cynthia Erivo's the first. I am fine, Rebecca. The Cynthia Erivo's in the first episode, maybe multiple times. It might be a twin situation. It might be multiple Cynthia Erivo's.
I need you guys to know I have started a running list of all of the movies and shows of 2025 that have actors playing dual roles in movies, and it is a growing long list.
It's a cool list. It's a great idea.
That's the new Hollywood It thing, right?
I guess we're trying to save money
We
by
had
having.
like Bugs movies, we had volcano movies.
Yeah, this one is
now it's
actors
twins
playing
movies.
dual-
Okay.
Last year was
yeah.
the year of the monkey. There's
Yeah.
lots of monkey
There
films.
was a lot of monkey
Yeah.
films last year. Yeah, you're right.
But with that being said, this might be the year of clowns. I don't know. There's your segue.
Or corn.
Ooh, you wanted it.
Wait, Poker Face.
Or
See-
corn.
See it or skip it?
For Poker Face, it's tough to give a see it or skip it when you've only watched the first couple episodes.
but
so
so
I
far-
would say the journey is still good.
Okay.
Every episode is kind of self-contained. You have your own story with each of the characters, and the first one was really entertaining. Cynthia Erivo proves to me every time she's on screen that she deserves more leading roles, and to play against herself multiple times in this is really fascinating, and I just love Natasha Lyonne. I don't know I don't know where she was born. If it was just like
New
out
York.
out of like an old detective noir film, but she sounds like a femme fatale from the olden days, and I love it so much. She's
I loved
super
season
cool.
one. I thought season one was
season
great.
one was
so I'm
great.
excited. Yeah.
So Ryan Johnson, thank you. Just keep doing this. No need to go to Star Wars. Moving on to
Star Wars was the
Clown in a Cornfield.
Right,
You know what? My favorite corn to eat, food to eat, is corn.
I like corn that's
It's
been
corn.
Yeah, corn.
a big lump with knots. It has the juice.
It has the
the
juice.
Never seen a more beautiful thing. So this is a slasher film. It's on Shudder right now. Basically, think.
And AMC Plus too, I
Yep.
believe.
It might be in one theater in Utah, but this is basically a slasher Friday the 13th, but involving a clown and a group of kids. Is the story important? No, it's not really worth mentioning. But I will say, as far as slasher films go, if you're into that kind, it's really fun. What do you think, Tracy?
Eli Craig is the director. He did Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which I thought was a great film. I was slow to the party on that one. I didn't watch it till last year. Ended up loving that. I was really looking
Last
forward to
year?
this one. Yeah, I was
Wow.
really late to the party.
Well,
So I went
if you're
into-
not into slasher films, you probably
Slashers
don't
aren't
want
my
to
thing,
until
but-
someone says, check it out.
Yeah, and the reason they got me to watch it because they're like, it's not the slasher film you think that it is.
It's like Cabin in the Woods.
Yes,
And then you
exactly.
go, no, I don't like that. Oh, wait.
Oh wait, this is really great.
It
Yes.
is unique.
And so I went into this one with some fairly high expectations just because of that. And I feel like this was kind of just like a step-by-step slasher film. It didn't feel like, it didn't have that twist. It didn't have that kind of unique concept to it. Like the clown thing was kind of funny and it ties into the town's founding. They were founded by a guy who created corn syrup and they had a clown
Huge.
mascot. And so, why that would clown selling corn
That
syrup?
guy's
I don't know,
responsible for
but-
more deaths than Freddy, Jason, all of them combined.
least
If it's
diabetes,
inventing
yeah.
corn syrup, yeah.
So it's not as
He
clever
invented
as I had
swig.
hoped it was. It wasn't as funny as I hoped that it would be. There's a couple of times where you can tell they're trying to land that punchline and it just doesn't.
It's always to
Can't.
get to the moment without properly building it. It does have a twist. It just is easily predictable.
Very
like
easily
right off the bat. It almost feels like you're watching Halloween Town, where it's like, I obviously know who that person is. No
And
wonder-
if this had been part of the setup and it was being satirical, then I would have been like, okay, then that works for me. But here, where it was just wanting to be more of the straight up slasher, I didn't think it was that effective.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring in
Yeah,
parts too, unfortunately.
it's really for die-hard horror fans that I watch everything horror.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something that's really engaging, it might not be the best, but I don't know. For me, it's probably a skip it. What about you?
I'm gonna skip it as well. Yeah.
I'm going to guess that somebody grabbed a producer in an elevator and said, hey, I got an idea. So there's a clown in a cornfield. He said, sold!
You have a go
Do you
picture.
remember when clowns were terrorizing highways back like 5 years ago?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Make a movie that.
That could
And then
be.
Do
fine,
that
greenlit.
one.
Here you
But have
go.
some corn on the side of the road.
Yeah.
So either make it super scary and intense, or make it silly, over the top satirical. And it's trying to walk a middle road, and it just didn't work for me.
Yep, it's still a throwback though to those old classic horror movies from the aughts of summer of '69, right?
Oh my God, Patrick.
That's what-
Summer of 1969. New movie streaming on Hulu. Stars Chloe Fineman and a lot of other people. When the intro credits were rolling on this movie, I was like, oh, I like them. Oh, I like them. Oh, they're so funny. Like, this movie has a huge cast of characters that are very fun. But it is a coming-of-age movie about a girl who wants to impress a boy and enlists the help of stripper Chloe Fineman's character.
I love her.
Either way, here's the thing. We do not often get coming-of-age sex comedies about women, about girls.
True.
And so this was a ton of fun, written and directed by Jillian Bell.
I love her.
This is her directorial debut, and she crushed it. I thought this movie was so clever and funny. Like, it's not a perfect movie. I'm not gonna say skip it. I'm not gonna say, like, hey, add it to the top of your priority list, but it is fun. It's cute. I thought it was pretty clever, and I really enjoyed watching it.
And it's on Hulu.
It's on
Yeah,
Hulu.
let's go say where can you see it? Okay.
Well, Jillian Bell, workaholic, she's incredible in that.
Yeah.
And I really like, small role, but in The Night Before, she is so good in that.
22 Jump Street, I thought she was
22
hilarious.
Jump
Brittany,
Street.
Brittany runs a marathon.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Oh yeah, that was a great movie. Richard,
So-
did you end up seeing this one?
No.
Okay, so I think this is definitely one to watch with people you trust. You don't want to watch it with your family. You don't want to watch it for Mother's Day.
What are you looking at
There's
me
nothing
for?
like that. Well, I feel like there are movies like that. So for
Patrick
me,
this
it's,
morning was like, it wasn't what I thought it was about. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's in the description.
and I don't
It's
really
in the
read them.
title, I'm guessing.
Before I just click play. I don't.
He was expecting a nice Bryan Adams song.
I was here to watch. Not
He's like,
read.
we're landing on the moon.
He
Let's
thought
go.
someone
He's
was
like, they're going to get the band
get their
together,
first
and
six
she's
string.
gonna
I
fall in
thought it was
love.
Woodstock. Honestly, I thought it was
gonna
something
play
like
until
that.
his fingers bled and just
Well, and that's why you get surprised by movies. You don't read things. Okay. Man, imagine.
You go in blind and
Oh boy. Well,
Sorry to put you on blast there.
every episode there needs to be that. Luckily, we've buried the Minecraft references. But
Yeah.
with that being said, that about does it for this episode. I want to thank all of you guys for coming on. Tracy, tell people where they can find you.
moviesthatmakeus.com.
Yeah. Rebecca?
On Twitter and Instagram, Eelgross Rebecca and Geek Show Podcast.
Instagram at rotowobo.com, here with you on Fridays, and 106.7 Rock with DB and Hooker in the morning.
Very cool. You can follow me on Patrick Beatty Reviews. Make sure to go to the See or Skip It social media pages, like and follow, and head to abc4.com where you can see more reviews, interviews, and all the stuff we're working on. Next week is going to be Final Destination Bloodlines, and the week after, we may have some interviews with the cast of Mission Impossible. So this could be pretty fun
Very cool.
if you choose to accept. With that being said, thank you so much as always for watching, and we will see you at the next review.